today, I don't even need these actually. Oh my gosh. Every week we're learning new things. Okay. Today we are going to be talking about 3 ways that we can get motivated, again, especially when we feel like quitting. Which I don't know about you, but 4 days before school even starts, I already feel defeated. That's a problem, right? So I'm here for myself to shift gears and get going again, to get motivated. So really what I want to know is who is with me. How are you all? I hope you're doing great. If you are here, I would love to know. Click the like button because I see you. We're live streaming into our BeMoved Facebook group, but eventually this will go up on YouTube. So if you're here, say hello, hop in the comments, and if you are on YouTube, I want you to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos that are coming out. And for those of you who don't know me yet, hi, my name is Sally Z. I am your virtual speaker coach at BeMoved, where our mission is to create talks that move the world, so that we can be speakers that move our audience. That's what we are all about. And I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs and change makers like you utilize speaking in your business so that you can grow your impact and your influence, and help you unleash your authentic voice, step out on stage, virtual or live, with courage and clarity, and finally leave self-doubt and obscurity in the dust. I'm so ready for it. So I'm really excited to have you here. If you have questions as we're going along, just hop them in the comments and I'll pick them up and we'll get at them at the end for sure. So if you know somebody who uses speaking in their business, I would love to have them join along, so you can actually tag them in the comments to make sure that they don't miss this either. Okay. So we are here today talking about getting motivated when we're not feeling it, right? Especially when we are just at the end of our rope. Like, nope, I'm done. That's it. And I completely understand, okay? Because just recently, and this happens fairly often, just recently I had a speaker reach out to me and say, I give up. I'm done. I'm working so hard. I'm at my max capacity and I just can't get the flywheel moving. I'm frustrated. I'm out. And I was like, oh, hang on, because you're so good. We just don't ever know sometimes when we're going to hit that next place, right? Or I just came off vacation yesterday. Yesterday was my first day back, and I was just like, I don't want to do anything. It's really hard coming back from vacation, and yet I have so much to do. That was a problem. Or maybe you're kind of where I am. This morning when I was watching my TV, watching Oversleeping Children, and I was like, we're going to have, next week's going to be a wake-up call. And I'm just not sure if we are up for it to distance learn all at home and all work at home all together. It's a lot. I'm feeling defeated and unmotivated, and we haven't even started yet. So all of that in mind, I was like, I need to shift. I need to shift my thinking and get us ready, get in a different mindset. We're having a family meeting tonight to do this as well. But I wanted to share with you some things that I think might help, because what I can tell you is this. I've been an entrepreneur now, a full-time entrepreneur, for about 5 years. Before that, I was doing it part-time, side hustle, building up my business. And what I can tell you is that entrepreneurship and speaking is an entrepreneurial endeavor. I'm sure you know that. In my mind, I think of it as a roller coaster, because it is such a wild ride. I mean, sometimes we are just slogging up that hill, just waiting. We don't know when exactly we're going to head over the hill, but we just are trusting that we're getting there. But sometimes we're really in the flow, and it's like you're just flying down the hills, and it's fun, and the breeze is in your hair, and it's easy. It feels easy. There are times like that. And of course, then sometimes there's like the little bumps that are terrifying and exciting. Now, I have to tell you, most of the time, I don't mind the roller coaster. I kind of like the roller coaster, but some days I'm just not feeling it. So here's my question. If you were to give entrepreneurship a metaphor, or speaking a metaphor, the experience of trying to build up our speaking master skills and our audience and our impact and our influence, what would you give it? I think of it as a roller coaster, but I'm curious what you would give it. Roller coaster feels right for me. And generally I love it. But sometimes we are just not feeling it. Like, I don't want to ride the roller coaster. I just want to sit and enjoy the corn dog or something. If we're going to keep the amusement park metaphor going. Sometimes we're just not feeling it. And the truth is, us feeling it is a really important part of our ability to show up, to love up our audience, to serve them well, to be driven by a purpose. Sometimes we're just not feeling it. If we are not feeling it, we can't do our best work. So I want to share with you 3 things that I have done that have helped and that I will be doing here in the next few days to help me get ready for the beginning, the first chapter of the fall. And I think of the fall as like the beginning of the year. My 2 parents were both teachers, and I worked with teachers forever, and I worked in schools forever. And so in my mind, September is the start. And we want to start feeling it, motivated, and open and ready. Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you, the first idea, is that I think it really helps to bring others in when we are not feeling it. So I have a text string with a group of people, entrepreneurs, who were all in a mastermind together. And that is a really great place to reach out. And when we're struggling, just say, oh my gosh, I had this great thing or this struggle. They help problem solve. It's amazing. It's an amazing gift. I take walks with my entrepreneurial BFF, Tiffany, to help process what's happening, to problem solve with her, and to just connect with somebody who understands. And I like to show up in those entrepreneurial Facebook groups. We're all in them. They're all over the place. That's a great place to go to get answers to whatever might be helping you feel stuck or making you feel stuck, right? Because I think when we bring others into that experience, it can bring us new ideas. It can help us solve our problem. And importantly, I think bringing other people into 2 really big things. And one is to get a clearer picture of what's really happening. We don't often have an accurate picture of ourselves. That's why coaches are really powerful for us in the process of becoming a better speaker. Coaches can give you a more accurate picture of how you show up and what you bring and what you struggle with and what your gifts are. And I think when we can bring other people in, they can be a more accurate mirror for us when we are like my speaker who reached out to me and said, it's just not working and I'm feeling really bummed and sad and I think I'm done. I'm feeling done. I'm feeling so tired. I can say, I think you're closer than you realize. And what you're doing is really impactful and it's working. We've got to look for different evidence than the evidence that you're looking at right now, because the evidence I see says that you are doing brilliant, beautiful things. Bringing other people in can help us do that. That's the first thing that it can do. But it also can let us know that we're not alone, because it can feel like there's something wrong with me. I'm doing, like, it's my family, my kids, I'm struggling. It can feel really isolating. But the truth is that there's a natural ebb and flow to this, just like the roller coaster. There's times when it's easy and times when it's hard. And knowing that that's a normal part of the experience helps to know that it's not permanent, that this too shall pass, that we shouldn't give up on the dream, that we've just got to keep taking one step at a time. So that is my first suggestion, and that is what I do too. I start by bringing other people in. The second thing that I do is I shut it down for a little bit. We've got to shut it down. It took me a long time to be okay with this because I feel so responsible. And I don't have a boss. When you're your own boss, you don't have somebody else telling you, take the day off and, you've done enough. You have achieved what you needed to today. All of those decisions are ours to make as speakers. And sometimes the magic is just not in the room. And instead of, if we had a boss, we would just, slug it out until 5 o'clock and we can go home. But when we're not feeling the magic and we don't have to lug through it and fight through it, sometimes when we recognize the magic isn't in the room, we just have to shut it down. When I say the magic isn't in the room, do you know what I'm talking about? I am referencing the amazing Elizabeth Gilbert's TED Talk, which is awesome, beautiful. And in it, she talks about this, like the genius that sometimes happens when we are creating. It's like, oh my gosh, everything that comes out of my mouth is brilliant and everything I write is brilliant. Sometimes we have those days and you're like, oh, it's amazing. The genius is in the room, like it's a little fairy gnome. But sometimes the genius doesn't show up for work that day. Now, we still have to sometimes do the things. I've still got to show up live even when I'm like, I'm kind of slugging through here, because that is my commitment to you. And we are inviting the genius in when we show up to do that. But sometimes when we can just say, nope, I'm shutting it down. And in fact, we need to sometimes. We have to give ourselves permission to shut it down instead of punishing ourselves or slugging through it, really making it painful and difficult and not really get where we want to go. And sometimes not even like what we end up with. We just need to shut it down and let it go. Take walks, sit outside, read a book, exercise, play with my kids. Maybe turn on the TV, but I hesitate to say that because sometimes when we turn on the TV, it can be a rabbit hole of avoidance instead of clearing our heads, making new space for new thinking and new being. That's what we want to do when we shut it down. And I just want to acknowledge it's really hard for most of us who are in this work, who are driven out front by a message, who want to do something big with their message and to utilize speaking in that way, because there's so much we could be doing. But just because we could be doing it, sometimes we need to say, nope, I'm not doing it. We're taking the day off. Maybe you just need to throw in the towel and take the day off and take the loss of the day and look for space and openness, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. Deep breaths. And we try again tomorrow. We show up again tomorrow. Now, if you can't shut it down, here's the last suggestion I have for you, and that is to do one thing, just one thing, one tiny little thing, and then celebrate it. And here's how I celebrate my one thing. Oh my gosh, my one thing, what I do is I find the one thing I want to do, and I do it, and then even after I've done it, I pull out my planner and I write it in my planner and then cross it off. I think it must be the Virgo in me, whatever. The Virgo in me is just like, yes, I did something. I got out of my funk and I did one thing. So I remember this moment when I was feeling overwhelmed. And I really believe Amy Porterfield, one of my mentors, told me once, Sally, You need to stop saying that you're overwhelmed, because overwhelm is a choice. And she's right. She's right. So what I do, life can still feel overwhelming, right? But to get out of that thinking, to get out of that space, I find one thing that I can do. Just one small thing. And I called my friend Tiff one day because I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed, not sure where to start. I felt really stuck, and I was definitely not motivated. And she said, I want you to find the smallest thing that you can do to call it a win, right? Find any one thing. And you're not going to worry about anything else. You're just going to do one thing. Okay, let's just start there. You're just going to do one thing. And that's what I did. I decided that I was just going to watch one course video. I was in the middle of this course and I was behind and it was overwhelming. Do you guys, do you know what that feels like? Let me know if you know what that feels like when you aren't where you wanted to be. And so you end up defeated before you've even had a chance to really give it a go. So I decided I was going to watch one course video. I opened my planner, I wrote it in my planner, and then I crossed it off when I completed it. That was my celebration. Maybe for you, you're going to do one small thing and you're going to find a way to celebrate it. You're going to go to Starbucks and get your favorite drink. You're going to step outside and have a cup of tea. You're going to call a friend. You're going to watch that one thing that you've been waiting on. Whatever. We do need to celebrate the small wins. Because when we do that, we remind ourselves that we can, and that this is all, if we look at everything all at the same time, it can be really overwhelming. But no, we're going to just do one little thing at a time. And that's what I tell my speakers who are feeling behind, feeling like they are not where they want to be or where they should be. And I say, one little baby step is still a step forward. I want you to find one small thing you can do and then celebrate it. Because that celebration part is really important. Our brain really likes to be rewarded. And so reward yourself for those things. And you'll remind yourself that it is possible for you to get moving again and get motivated again. All right, my movers. Those are my 3 things. But here's my question for you. What do you do to stay motivated or get motivated, especially when you are feeling so stuck and so down in the dumps, like I am just not feeling it? How do you get to feeling it again? I'd love to know. I'd love to know, especially when you are feeling stuck. So if you, I would love to hear, put it in the comments, let me know, reach out to me. How do you get motivated? And I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to hear because I might need it over the course of the next few weeks, you guys. I think we all could use it, right? And I have one small favor to ask of you, and that is if you haven't yet checked out our new YouTube channel, BeMoved by Sally Z, I would love for you to do that. Hit subscribe. And maybe you're watching this on YouTube right now instead of over in the Facebook group. We go live every other week over on the Facebook group, although we'll be going live a lot more in the next few months as we get ready to launch our Signature Talk Studio, which opens again in October. And I'd love for you to join in. So hit subscribe, find us over on Facebook so that we can stay in touch and I can help you create a talk that will move this world. Yes? With me, what is moving you today? Love to know. Bye for now, friends.